This episode of On the Line is presented to you by Living.fit, your one stop for all your fitness needs. Make sure you go download the app Living.fit today. Now here's the show. Welcome to On the Line. Today is Tuesday, April 12th. We got a great show for you guys. We got Packers linebacker Krys Barnes on the show. But first and foremost, listen on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Listen on Apple, Spotify, Deezer, Stitcher, any podcasting platform. Hit that follow. Leave a review. Anyway, Krys Barnes comes on the show. We talk everything. If you didn't know, he was teammates with Jordan Love in high school. Now they're teammates again. So we talk a little bit about that. We talk about Aaron Rodgers. Talk about him forcing fumbles. I don't know, all kinds of shit. He's a great player. Great interview. Great talking to him. Once we wrap up with that, give our winners and losers of the week. And then we give our shout outs and kind of go over a little bit of UC 273 before we talk to Chaz Skelly on Friday again. So without further ado, here is Krys Barnes. We are joined by a very special guest. He is a starting linebacker for the Green Bay Packers. It is Krys Barnes. Krys, how are we doing? You in LA, Green Bay? Where are we at right now?
I'm actually out in Houston.
Houston,
a little change up, yeah. Love California, but I've found a little different, like a little love out here in Houston over the years, training and kind of got my body work stuff out here. So it's kind of molded to be kind of my little hub for the off season. So decided to kind of get a house out here this year. It's kind of my home base. So nice little switch up. Definitely miss California and the beaches and all that, but it's a little cheaper out here, so I'll take it any other day of the week.
There's got to be a lot of guys out there in Texas too that like you can train with, things like that.
Oh yeah, a bunch of guys. Even Ty Summers, who obviously I play with at the Packers. We train together at the same gym, so it's nice to be able to work with somebody that you see every day anyway. So it's always good work.
Yeah, a little continuity. So, I mean, one of the biggest things this past offseason was, the Aaron Rodgers stuff. Are you more relieved? Like, obviously, he makes a decision, so you got to be relieved. But are you more relieved the fact that he's coming back, or the fact that everyone's not asking you anymore if he's coming back or not?
Probably the second one for sure. Everywhere I go, it's a barbershop. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a store. If anybody knows, like, I got caught at the airport the other day, getting a rental car, and someone asked me the very same question, like, how you feel about Aaron? And I was like, you know what I'm saying? Everyone's glad he's back. Of course, everyone's glad he's back. He's great for the organization, the fans, the legacy he's built, just with the Packers. And we're all obviously glad to have him back too. He's a great winning edge, just a great person in the team and all that. But yeah, there's a lot of being able to try to do those questions everywhere you go. Anybody as a Packer fan is going to hit you at least one of them. But it comes with the territory, though. We definitely got to have him back.
And then you're also part of the country you're from. You're from Bakersfield. You and Jordan Love, the backup quarterback of the Packers. That's probably one of the only areas that's kind of like, can Aaron retire so Jordan can get a shot and I'll be the starting quarterback?
Yeah, there might be a few salty fans in Bakersfield right now. But we all know Jordan's time's coming. You know what I'm saying? We're all excited for him. So there's no bad blood anywhere.
No. That's so crazy too. Like we were literally talking before, like you were like talking about how like from California, who would have thought you'd be in Green Bay? Who would have thought you and Jordan Love are both in Green Bay from California?
Yeah. Wild. Never in my life I thought that, but it's definitely a blessing.
No, yeah, for sure. So I do want to ask a couple questions about this past season. I just want to ask one question about the San Francisco game. I mean, for you guys, defensively played great, but it seems as if like maybe like the San Francisco's like game plan or whatever worked. Like, what do you think went wrong in that last game against San Francisco?
I wouldn't say so much went wrong. It's a culmination of you got to play 4 quarters. It might look one way the whole game, in the last 4 minutes it switches to a whole different thing. So it's one of the scenarios where you look at the film and it'd be one little mistake, one little thing you wish you get back that made the difference. I can't say it's one thing versus the next. It's a culmination over a game. So definitely wish we had that one back. We didn't. No one seen that one coming. You know what I'm saying? We definitely had our sights on much bigger things, but we got stopped in our tracks pretty hard. So I'm glad to be back on the team this year, be able to get going again. Hopefully we get past that hump and get to where we want to go, because it's definitely close.
So one of the things I was going to ask was, I remember, I don't know why, when I think it's 2020, you said you were always going to wear sleeves when it got cold. When did you become a true NFC North linebacker and stop wearing sleeves in the cold?
I couldn't. I wanted to so bad. I did. And I was telling my coaches, like, I can't do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can't do it. But when you get out there and you start moving around, I went out for warm-ups. I was like, I'll try it out, put a little Vaseline and stuff on. And I was feeling fine. So once you're out there moving around, it really isn't that bad. And once you do it the first time, you're committed now. So you can't change it. So Every time it gets cold, I can't do no sleeves. I probably walk the turf tape as much as I'll go, but yeah, sleeves, it's a no-go for anybody.
When was the first time? When was the first time you're like, all right, dude, fuck it. Let's just see how it goes. When was the first time?
I did one game, Minnesota Viking game, just because it was super cold. It was like super windy, wind chill. I don't know what the degree was, but it was super, super low. And, you know, I'm from California, so I don't deal with cold weather very well. So when that wind was kicking, it kind of got me a little bit. I had to throw a long sleeve on for that game. But besides that, yeah, I've been trying to hold on strong, just going straight skin.
It's a tough guy. It's a tough guy. Look, you're a linebacker too, so you got to be one of the toughest fuckers out there on the field.
You know what I'm saying? If you play linebacker position, you got to tough it out a little bit in the cold. You can't wear sleeves. Real generic out there, but it's all right.
It's all right. Worst case scenario, you throw on a couple like arm sleeves, like don't all the way up. So you're like just looking a little swaggy, but really deep down, you're like, I'm doing this so I can keep a little bit warm. No, so as we said, like you're in Houston now. You're from California. What was it like your first full winter in Green Bay, like with the icy roads and like the cold and the snow and all that? What was your first winter like?
It was different, but honestly, the first winter wasn't that bad. We got blessed with an easy winter that year. Like, it was no snow, probably snowed really like 3 or 4 times. And I'm thinking, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking that's probably normal. I could deal with this. Some people crying about with the snow. But last year was brutal. First time really having to drive in the snow, like where it's packed on the ground. I'm really sliding. I'm trying to figure out which way to turn the wheel, not pump the brakes in certain areas. So it was definitely a struggle, but I figured it out now. I feel like I'm starting to be a little bit of a pro, but I'm definitely not speeding. I'm probably not going no more than 5 miles an hour on that street.
Oh no, I don't either. I don't either. I'm in Indianapolis, so I got the same shit. So it's just like it's. I was gonna ask if you had someone like had to like teach you how to drive on ice, because it is something you have to learn how to deal with, because like the black ice, you'll start fucking swerving. You're like, okay, do I have to like turn with it, turn against it? It's crazy.
It was crazy. My coach was the one that advised me. He said, don't slam on the brakes whenever you can't stop. Make sure you tap the brakes. I was like, okay, that's a great lesson, because the first day I did, I slammed on it and I kept sliding. I wasn't going nowhere. It slid through a whole light. But ever since then, I've been good. I'm a little better at it.
You're chilling with it. You're also you can also afford a pretty good car in the sno and ice too now. So it's like one of those things, so you don't have to worry about driving like there you go. There you go. Like I have a little Ford Ranger. Like if I'm on the ice, I'm toast. My whole entire back's gonna slide over. But no, I want to go back to rookie season 2020. Like obviously you're in the league. I mean, you have to have the thought process in your head, like I really belong. It's kind of the mindset you have to have. But I mean, did you really expect to play as much as you did, especially after being cut like right before the season?
Truly, no. My mindset coming in was I knew my situation was I was undrafted. I was coming to fight for a spot, so I'm trying to find anywhere on special teams, just anywhere I can, just to make that active roster. And especially after I got cut, I wasn't really sure what was going to go in that situation. They're saying one thing, and then I'm getting cut at the same time, so it's like it was just a whole situation. But it kind of ended up playing its own cards, making that couple of plays the first game, and then it got a little more game after that. And from there, kind of just kept following throughout injuries, of course, battling through a lot of stuff. But I definitely didn't see myself playing this amount of games, but I'm blessed. Definitely glad last year I stayed healthy majority of the season. So I was able to, I'm glad to be able to fight through all those and feel pretty good now to where I'm comfortable playing each game, which is definitely a good feeling versus my rookie year.
Once you play a little more free, which is a lot. The football, if you're thinking too much, sometimes it's not the best. But if you're allowed to play a little freely, you make some more plays, be a little more aggressive, things like that nature. Also, you had to be kind of nerve wracking that when you got put on the COVID list. I mean, you're an undrafted guy. You're probably thinking like, shit, dude, someone could take my spot, and I may not actually play again.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, that's a fear week in and week out, whether you're on a COVID list or not, and you're always fighting for a spot. So. Definitely don't ever want to go down. And I went down for a couple of weeks. Actually, I think I went down for a month. And just to be down, just dealing with that sickness, it was tough. It hit me kind of hard, but we battled through it and got through that stuff. And then, finally got my way back on the field. And from there, just the same motto I kind of told myself from the start was, whenever you get your opportunity, make the most of it. And I've been trying to do that ever since, each and every game I can.
What was like, and obviously in the very beginning there really wasn't fans. If there was, it's very minimal. At what point did you really get that like moment of like, oh, this is the NFL. Like I am really in the NFL now.
The first game. Yeah,
it was the first game.
Yeah, the first game, the very first play. Like I'm walking out there, even though like there's no fans, you still get that experience. Like, okay, I'm lining up from Dalvin Cook, where I watched this guy playing in college football, like all that type of stuff, even in the league, like going crazy. And I gotta get ready to make a tackle. It's like for that split second, you get star struck for a second, and it's like, okay, I'm really in here. But then after that, the first couple plays, first hits, you got a lot back on this football. But yeah, each and every week, that first year is like, okay, I'm playing Drew Brees now. I'm playing Alvin Kamara. Like, it's just saying new guys. Each new team I play is always that way, just for that first split second, and then it's like, okay, we got to lock back in real quick, get ready to go play. But no, yeah, it's each moment it's a new experience, because you see new stadiums, you see new vibes, and especially last year with having fans, it was definitely the full experience then. Definitely was full experience.
And you get the even more full experience next year without like all of like the restrictions and things like that in terms of like the team, like all that other kind of stuff. So like, what's the place you're looking forward to the most and then going? So like, you've only played a couple of years and obviously don't go to play every team every year. Like, what's the team or player or maybe a stadium like you're looking forward to the most?
So I'll tell you this, we got announced we're playing in London this year. So I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited to go play over there. I don't know who we're playing or what time of the year we're playing, whether it's preseason or regular season, but just to be going, I think that'll be a cool experience just to be out there. See our side of the fans over there in that side of the world, which we don't see often. So it'll be nice. But besides that, man, I'm blessed to be able to just be here. You know what I'm saying? Be able to see beautiful Lambeau, be able to call that a home field. So there ain't really too many stadiums where I'm looking forward to. They're all, beautiful, but love to play in them. But at the end of the day, it's a football game. We're going out there, play an opponent, and have fun doing that, which I'd much rather do than anything.
Oh yeah, for sure. So, and one thing I feel like you've kind of become not notorious for, but like something like you're probably one of the most feared guys in the goal line, from punching the ball off from Teddy Bridgewater, just laying out Damian Williams from a touchdown. Like, when did you all of a sudden become like this goal line nightmare? And which one are you more proud of at the moment?
They matter down there. I can't say I'm proud of either. You know what I'm saying? They're definitely both great plays. Crazy spurred moment. I don't even know how I got there type plays. But they're very special. There's something that's kind of always sticking to me, especially the one last year. That's something I've always kind of dreamed of, making a big hit, whether it's a straight head-to-head ISO on a running back or a play like that on that little play. So definitely special to me. I always kind of look it up. I posted on my Instagram, I think this year a little bit. Just I go back, watch sometimes, like, okay, that's, that kind of makes me official. Like, you deserve to be in the league now. Like, you made plays, you're a little official, but still, don't get me wrong, I got a lot of growth to do. So I don't want to sound like I'm boasting. I'm definitely not it.
No, but that was straight up a movie kind of a play, like Little Giants or whatever. It's like running back and the linebacker going head to head. Like, that's literally straight out of a movie kind of a play. Yeah. So no, and one of the things too, like, you went undrafted, like obviously there's like notorious stories of guys. Like, I remember each guy drafted ahead of me, like Josh Rosen. That's, I think that was a former teammate of yours, right? Josh Rosen?
Definitely was.
He was
my freshman, sophomore year.
Yeah, he was your quarterback. And I know, like, he was obviously said like they'll regret their decisions or whatever. Do you have like a list of all the linebackers that were drafted ahead of you, or do you know of like all the guys that were drafted ahead of you?
No, I don't got no list. I don't got no vendetta list where I wrote anything down or anything like that. But I know the guys that, of course, got drafted, or like they were the top names that were for my class. But what I'm saying, ain't no hate. I want to see everybody win, everybody succeed. So at the end of the day, whatever they do on the field is what they do. But I got to make sure my job's done at the end of the day, doing what I got to do and do what's best for me. So I definitely feel like I changed my perspective a little bit on how my branding is, which, is all I can hope for. Definitely got some more years to build on top of that. But and all that, though, I feel like, I'm saying, no shade, nobody. I keep no vendetta. It's all love to everybody.
All love it. LEO. So what was your you started to talk about the branding thing. When did you delete all your old Instagram pictures?
So, crazy story, I got hacked as soon as I got bro. At my rookie year, we're in like OTAs almost this time, my rookie year, and right before we're going to start meetings, my phone's blowing up. I'm like, I don't know why they blowing me up. They know I got meetings. Check my phone, like, hey, who is this on your Instagram? It's some random dude I've never seen before, posting his pictures, my name and all that, but just took over my Instagram. So I tried to get it back. Took me a couple of days to get it back. Thanks for my old agency. They recovered it for me, but all my pictures were gone, all that stuff. So really, I didn't have nothing left. I just posted a couple pictures to start with, and ever since then, I've been branding that new life. But that past part of life for me is not on there no more.
And sometimes that's for the better, though. Sometimes that's for the better.
I mean, he did me a favor. I was going to have to delete him eventually, but I might have kept a few around.
I thought you were doing a little cleanse. I thought that was one of the something like before the league. I got my last year at UCLA. Let's just kind of go through a cleanse and kind of,
Yeah, it was gonna happen. It was gonna happen. He did me a favor, but it's still I didn't want to deal with that whole little process of getting it back.
Yeah, I did something similar. Like right when I graduated, actually, this kind of backfired on me. I didn't have any, no one hacked into my account. But I'm like, I'm just gonna delete social media, whatever. I don't care. Cause I was just like, I thought I was gonna be like behind production kind of stuff. Then all of a sudden now I'm in this. I have to make a new social media and I had to like completely restart. And I'm not even back to where I was before. So it kind of sucks a little bit.
No, I definitely feel you.
It is tough.
It's like starting a whole new life. Like I got to start from ground one.
Oh, dude, it sucks. It's such bullshit. Anyway, so obviously when you're undrafted, one of the coolest things about it is you get to choose where you get to play, which, you know, it's kind of weird to say. Like, obviously you don't get drafted. Or you kind of relieved a little bit though? You got to pick where you got to play.
Yeah, most definitely. I think because in a sense, I already kind of knew I was going later rounds, and a lot of guys kind of tell me like when it gets that situation, it's always sometimes best to go free agency just because you kind of have a say where you want to be and you know the best opportunity that fits best for you. So I was kind of glad in that sense, but of course, you know what I'm saying, every kid wants to hear their name called on draft day, whether it's first round or seventh round. It don't matter. But you know what I'm saying, it all worked out for the best. I think, you know, Packers was the best team for me in that situation. My past agency, we did a lot of work as far as trying to figure out just where we thought the best fit for me was. And then when Packers called, it kind of seemed like it was it's perfect, you know, perfect timing. Whether Jordan was there or not, because he already went day one, he was like a little the extra little bonus just because he's my best friend. But yeah, he was no reason in the factor for me to go there, but it all worked out to be a perfect situation.
I was about to say that was one of my next questions. Like, did he have? So he had nothing whatsoever. There wasn't even a little bit of like, well, Jordan's there too.
Because I mean, it's my life, so you know what I'm saying. Like, I can't base my life on his life. So I had to take him out of the equation. Like, I definitely know he was in there, but take him out of there, really look at everything and weigh it as like, okay, what's best for my life, and it still worked out to be the best decision. Obviously, I think it's still playing out pretty well. And to be my best friend, where we lived together 15 minutes apart from growing up to same thing now, 15 minutes apart from each other in Green Bay, it's pretty dope. I can't lie.
And when you look at in you guys' careers, like literally entire football career, like coming out of high school, like you were the touted prospect. He was kind of went on under the radar. Then you guys get drafted. He's first overall. You're undrafted. Now you're the starter, starting pretty much every game. And then he's sitting behind Aaron Rodgers, which, you know, I think pretty much everyone would be sitting behind Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. But I mean, at some point, you guys have to be on an equal level and hopefully like peaking at the same time, right? Like that has to eventually happen.
Yeah, I think the thing with us though, I think we always support each other, like in everything we do, our highs and lows. We always experience our highs and lows at different times, but I think it's sculpted us to be able to handle these situations in a very good manner and be able to go about it and be able to still push through whether it's a high or a low. So you know what I'm saying, he's someone I talk to all the time as far as just kind of getting me through things, just because I know the stuff he's been through from a young age and vice versa. So it's good to have him by my side. Of course, I want to see him winning and playing and all that type of stuff. And like you said, it's pretty much anybody would sit behind Aaron Rodgers. He's legendary. So I know when his time comes, I'm going to be very excited for him through all the highs and lows, just like he's going to be excited for me and my highs and lows in my career that I'm having right now.
Exactly. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the college experience. You kind of went through something, I think. I mean, your highly touted recruit goes to UCLA. You go through both Jim Mora and Chip Kelly. First thing is what's the biggest difference between those two guys?
Biggest difference, I'd probably say very good coaches off the bat, you know what I'm saying? They both taught me a lot of good things. I'd say the two different environments. I think the environment Jim Mora brought in was probably a more, I guess, family-oriented environment, whereas, you know, our parents are very included, where it's coming on spring practices, whatever, on the field, having dinners. And I just felt like it was a little more, I don't know, it was a different type of feeling. But when Chip Kelly came, it was, I think, a little bit more business, which I think I liked a little bit more because it prepares you for this next level, what you're coming into, which is the real world, where he brings in the realness of it. And he really brings you in to, you know, show you the aspect of behind the game, breaks it down for you a little bit of that aspect. And both good coaches, though. You know, I had a lot of respect for him. I love playing with both of them. All my respect to Coach Moore, because he gave me an opportunity to be there at UCLA. And he's about to do good things at UConn now. I'm really excited to see him, you know, ball over there. Hopefully my Bruins keep turning around over there at UCLA. Had a pretty good year last year. It seemed like we're on a good track. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying, get a couple more recruits this year. I think we'll be all right.
I think so too. I mean, the Pac-12 is usually open, so I mean, it's kind of like interchanging door of like who's first. It's
all right. We're gonna pull it off this year though.
Oh, okay. So That's just one interesting question though about like the whole like coaching changes. Like if you had the transfer portal rules now, like would you have considered transferring after when Jim Mora was fired? Like what do you think you would have done if you're in that situation?
No, I think I still would have stayed. Just talking to a few people, I was advised. I think at that time, it kind of was looked differently on transferring. But like I said, if I had those rules now, I don't know. I think because you have a lot of variables now. You have the NIL deals. You have a whole bunch of stuff to where people are offering a lot of things. But I still think UCLA provides a top of the line, facilities, from the food to the weightlifting program, which is changing around, to the football staff. And you can't be education and you can't be LA, especially when you get, what I'm saying, with the NIL deals now, people are getting stuff where you're able to afford to live out there. I probably wouldn't have switched it now. To be honest, I probably stayed there.
What was the and also it doesn't hurt that UCLA is like linebacker university. Like literally, like I swear, everyone who's a linebacker at UCLA is literally going to be an NFL like stud.
Yep, and it don't matter when you come in. I think we all come in and we do a pretty good job. I think that's for any Bruin, but I will tell LBU. We'll tote it around a little bit. We have a good little group of guys still playing and former. So a couple, I think in my opinion, a couple Hall of Famers, but you know what I'm saying, they're definitely good players. Hopefully get my name up there a little bit more this next couple of years and get to that status a little bit. But it'll all be in the works.
All in the works.
Yeah.
So yeah, one more thing too about the whole UCLA thing too is, and like also then going to Green Bay is like UCLA. I mean, say it the way it is. It is a basketball school. It is a basketball town. I think you could say. What was the biggest difference between going from a town like that to going to Green Bay, where it's literally live, eat, breathe, and die football?
Yeah, it's different. I never really experienced something that's where everybody in town was fully invested on football when football season's there. You know what I'm saying? Growing up in LA, there's so many different avenues as far as fashion, as far as music, as far as anything that you can get involved in. So I think for me to get out of that switch of that fast city lifestyle and get to Green Bay, where it's, I ain't gonna say super slow, but it's slower than, you know what I'm saying, than LA.
That's safe to say. That's not. I don't think that's that's not a hot take. That's
it's not. But I don't want to. Yeah, it's just a slower lifestyle. It's just a slower pace. Speed limits is slow out there. Lifestyle is slower. So, but I think for me, I'm more of a guy anywhere. I don't have to be in the city. I'm not in the scene too much, partying all the time. So, it's just me and my dog, where we chilling at the house, or I'll take him on a walk here and there. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really doing too much. So it's not that bad of a switch for me, honestly. Besides the cold weather is in itself, but if you get past that, it ain't too bad.
No, it's not too bad at all. So my intern here hasn't said a word this entire time. This is kind of a little segment where it's like a 5-level kind of question game. So I'll ask a question. If you like it, you answer it, we move on to the next one. However, if you've ever wanted to tell someone they've asked a bad question, you can tell them it was a bad question, and then we wrap this thing up.
Yep. So a bad question is over with.
It's over. He's done. Then he's done. He mutes himself, and then we wrap it up.
Wow. Okay.
I give excuses to, like, if you guys like, people ask bad questions all the time, and it's just like one of those excuses where you're ever like, you know what, that's a bad question. He's in college. He can take it. He's not going to be. His feelings won't be hurt.
I ain't gonna shut him down though. But if it's something crazy, I'm gonna have to.
I don't think it's gonna be anything too crazy. Nothing. Too
So my first one is kind of building off that last one. Did you have a moment where I was like, oh shit, I am not in LA anymore. I am in Green Bay?
Yeah, I think within the first week, the speed limits, I think that's the first thing I said, was just because in LA, like you know what I'm saying, you get on the freeway, it's probably 50, 60, 75, whatever. Normal streets, you're probably hitting about 45. Yeah, in Green Bay, the speed limit is 30 on the main street. And I'm not used to that. Like where I'm from, and like the city limits, you can still drive 50 on the street. So I'm driving pretty fast, which I got to stop doing anyway. And I got a ticket I put over. And he was like, he said, welcome to Green Bay, this and that. I was like, well, yeah, I got to slow down. So from then I realized that like life is different for real out there. I can't be going as fast paced as everywhere else.
That's kind of crazy because like, actually it kind of makes sense because Green Bay isn't like, in terms of like market size, it's not like too big. Like I'm in Indy, like we drive 50 miles an hour down the road. Like it's not too crazy. Yeah,
I wish. It's 25 some places, so it's
it's a school zone just like all around the city, pretty much.
Everywhere you go.
I cannot do that. I'm from Jersey, where we drive like madmen down the roads. Yeah. Moving on. Question number 2. So if you were to build a 4-person defense around you at linebacker, so like 2 people on the line, 2 people in coverage, who would you take out of anyone in NFL history?
Out of anyone in NFL history? Oh,
Yeah.
shoot.
Helps you out so you don't have any deal with any tampering here. So
yeah, exactly.
Most definitely. NFL history. Okay. I go safety. I go safety first, or we'll deep in. I'll put Deion Sanders in there, and then
Gotta.
You know what I'm saying? He
Gotta
don't
go
cut anybody.
Deion.
Yeah, he don't cut anybody. Then just because I'm physical, I like hard hitters, so I'm gonna throw the OG Sean Taylor in there.
That's a great one.
That's a great one. And then interior, I gotta go with my OG Kenny Clark just because that's my big dog. UCLA Bruin in the house. Gotta hold it down. That's my dog. And then who else am I going? Interior. My mind's going blank. Honestly, I can't even. My mind's going blank. I can't even think of nobody right now.
Fair enough. Hey, that's still a solid.
I'll give you that though. Yeah, I'll give you the back end. Our back end gonna hold it down. I'll figure out the rest later.
So here's something different. So like, who doesn't count for his thing. Well, who's like the linebacker you looked up to growing up that made you want to be a linebacker?
Oh, me? I had a couple really. I think I grew up watching a lot of Ray Lewis, obviously.
Yeah.
And of course Patrick Willis and Navarro Bowman. I think just those two, that pair right there, I think kind of capitalizes why I want to hit people so hard, just because I seen what they were doing to people. So I was like, yeah, that's exactly how I want to play. But yeah, I think those probably the main three I probably put as my top tier linebackers I probably watch and kind of try to mimic my game a little bit after kind of growing up and still now, for real.
So like we're about the same age. Like, yeah, literally everyone growing up around our age. I feel like you have to say Ray Lewis because Ray Lewis is so much fun to watch.
Absolutely.
But he knew where everything was going. He's the greatest, yeah, for sure. Yeah. But you can't get towards it. Patrick Willis and Navarro Bowman, definitely a great duo for sure.
Oh yeah, Willis is
no one was getting through the middle of the field with them.
No. All right, number three. Yeah.
Number 3. All right. So since March Madness just wrapped up, had UCLA gotten past UNC, do you think they would have beaten St. Peter's in that next round? And how bad do you think they would have beaten them by?
Yes, I'm gonna say yes and yes all the way to the championship. We was gonna win it all. But I'm St. Peter's was a great squad. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They played great games. It would have been a close game. I'd have gave us up. We would have probably won by 2 or 3. It came down to the wire because they were all great games, all tournament. Like I ain't gonna say none was a blowout. So it came down to the wire. But I got to pull for the Bruins on top. I can't say who's gonna lose.
The style of brand, the brand of UCLA basketball too was a little bit of like you kind of just play slow pace and then just like
you start off slow a little bit, but we're gonna pick it up at the end and come in clutch. I mean, it didn't happen, but we'll bounce back.
Oh, always.
All I'm saying is that if you guys, if Indiana had won their first round matchup, you would have had to play us in the first round, and I'm not sure how that would have gone.
Hey, which would have been just as fine. Would have kept on moving.
yeah, you're probably right.
We're a couple years away. They got their rebuild done. They're back. We're not back. We're not all the way back yet. We're still working.
Yeah,
it's all right. It's all right.
Yeah. All right. Question number 4. So if you got a second dog, would you name it Harry to go with Draco?
Okay. I wouldn't. Crazy though. I might get a second dog. Actually, I'm thinking about it. I've been trying to figure out what I might name them. That's my biggest dilemma why I haven't got a dog yet. So I'm like, do I keep it that same kind of theme? Which I don't know. I might, but we'll see. That's funny you asked me that though. That's funny.
Hey.
That's funny.
What kind of dog though? What kind of dog?
He's an American bully, like the XL breed. So he's like a pit bull. He looks like a very aggressive pit bull. He's just 105 pounds. He just turned 1 month. He just turned 1 year and a month, like a couple days ago.
Would you get another one of those?
Whoa.
Yeah, he's big. Yeah, I'm getting another one of those. Give him a little brother probably, but we'll see. I'm not too sure yet.
Bullies are such a fun breed. You
the
never have a bad day with them.
Yeah, beautiful dog, sweet, not too high energy, which is nice. We can lounge around all day, but go on a little walk, same time, get a little active, but nothing crazy.
Yeah. All right. So last one here. This one's it's a little bit different, but if your next contract with Green Bay was contingent on you eating your body weight in that good Green Bay cheese, you had a week to do it. Do you think you could do it? And how long would it take you?
A week? A week to do it?
Yeah.
I can smash that for sure. I'm gonna have to get it done. A week? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, whatever it takes. If I got the full, yeah, I'm good. I'll get it done. I don't know how long it'll take me. It'll probably take me my body weight. That's a lot of cheese, boy. My stomach gonna be hurting. My stomach's
Dude,
gonna be hurting.
your body would be fucked for like a month.
Yeah, my stomach's gonna be hurting.
You'd have to be like pounding that lactate.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna pay for it afterwards, though. You know what I'm saying? I'll pay for the consequences.
Be like Mickey D with the Pepto Bismol, you know, just kind of sitting.
For sure, I'm gonna be stocked up for life. I ain't probably never, but it'll be okay. I'll probably take 6 days if I had to do it. Honestly, I hope 6 I never. Days? 6 days, yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't think you're eating those crazy hypotheticals.
I hope you're not eating over 200 pounds of fucking cheese in a week. But,
yeah,
no. Might fuck up the performance too. Those workouts, like if you're like during the week when you're eating that cheese and like you have to work out.
Yeah, I can't do it.
I'm feeling that in my gut right now.
Sluggish as hell.
Yeah, no way.
Oh hell no! Like imagine like running a couple miles is like feeling that like belly
slush around. Yeah, no way.
Hell no. All right, man. So that's what we got for you. Appreciate you coming on. If there's anything you want to promote other than the social medias, like the one that got hacked, go ahead and promote those.
Shoot, not really. I got nothing else besides my social media. I don't know if you had it on there already, but it's just Krys_Barnes on Instagram, and then Twitter. I think that's my first last name, Krys Barnes. But I don't read. You know what I'm saying? I don't do too much. I stay out of scene a little bit, so I ain't branding too much. Stuff will be in the works eventually, but yeah, right now I'm still in the grind mode, trying to figure out what exactly I want to do right now. So when the time comes, y'all might be the first to know. I'll let you know.
Ooh, I like that. I got
that back.
Yeah. All right. For us, for Krys. See you. That was a great interview with our man Krys. Always great talking to him, bringing back the NFL vibes to the show. But let's go on ahead into our winners and losers of the week. My first winner is going out to Frank Vogel. He has been saved. He has been freed from LA. They fucked him over so bad by giving Russell Westbrook to him. He never wanted Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook said, I am the point guard. I get the ball. No one else is allowed to take the ball off the court. That is number one bullshit. Frank always has a special place in my heart for being the coach of the Pacers. But like, I never liked the situation he was in LA. They were always going to use him as a scapegoat, but literally nothing that happened this year was his fault. They destroyed his team. They brought in a bunch of guys who don't play defense. He's a defensive coach. It just never made sense. But there is someone who can save the Lakers. His name's Phil Jackson. Just bring back everyone who was elite in 2007.
Yes, sir. Just bring back the old squad and run it back for LeBron's final few years before he goes.
Go sign Pau Gasol. He knows how to run the triangle.
Oh, yeah. Paul Gasol.
Phil Jackson, Pau Gasol. That's all you need. Maybe Derek Fisher will come out of retirement.
Yeah, maybe. Bring back Meta World Peace. Why not? Or
he could throw some elbows.
He could.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just that old squad. Lamar Odom. He's doing stuff.
He's doing crack. All right. Before we go down this path, Harry, your first winner.
My first winner is anyone who grew up in the early 2000s, so like people Tommy and my age, because Lego Star Wars, the new one, just hit shelves, and man, I swear to God, it's bringing me all the way back. It's so fun, and
I've never played.
I've been seeing
it all. Played one game, but it's been all over my TikTok feed.
Yes, it's everywhere. Everybody our age is playing the hell out of it, and it's so good. I just have no words to describe how much fun it is, and it plays the exact same, even though the graphics and everything else about it is so much more fine-tuned, and it's better, but it's the same.
Yeah,
you know.
I haven't played it. I haven't had a minute. All I've played is MLB. I've just played the show the past like week and a half. I said before I don't really like baseball. I kind of do. I like betting it. I like playing the video game, but I don't have a team, which is probably better. But I don't know. I'm not the biggest baseball guy. But anyway, let's go on into our losers. My loser is Reading the Room and Gil Brandt specifically. I got a bigger loser later for this, but Gil Brandt, my biggest loser. I mean, like if you live under a rock, you probably aren't aware of this, but Dwayne Haskins very unfortunately passed away. It's a very sad situation. I guess the report is like his rental car broke down or something, and he was like jogging across the street to go get gas, something along those lines. That's one of the things I've seen. Don't want to speculate too much. Regardless of what happened, it's sad.
It's a tragedy.
He's a 24-year-old, a lot of talent, a lot of potential, not just as a football player, but as a person. You hate to see that kind of stuff. But there's this guy, 93, old white. No surprise, it's another old white doing this. He came out and said he was a guy that was living to be dead. It was always something with Haskins. Maybe he stayed in a school year. He should have. He wouldn't be doing silly things like jogging on a highway. And that was an immediate response. I mean, that's a very, very dumb fucking thing to say when you don't have the details on something. Just because you hear something doesn't mean you have to give an opinion. That's, kind of, it's even if you are in the media, you can just like, you know what, we don't know enough. I'll wait for the details to come out. That's kind of which in today's day and age can't do that. But at the same time, though, you can't be going out there saying the dude was living to die. His family's devastated. Yeah. Friends and family are devastated. I mean, he was down there with all those Steelers players, and you got to feel like they're probably feeling like shit because they're all together. And that kind of like maybe it would have been me, all that other kind of stuff. But anyway, Gil Brandt, fucking loser.
Like you got to think about the human side of all this too. Yeah. That video of Chase Claypool.
They're not just football players.
And by all reports, Dwayne Haskins was a great guy. Like, it's a damn shame.
It's a shame. I hate seeing that kind of stuff. But Harrison, you're a loser.
My first loser contradicts your first winner. I have Frank Vogel, but just because he's no longer the only California coach getting fired right now, as it seems like Alvin Gentry might be getting a promotion to the front office. I saw the report broke earlier today that 2 California coaches were getting fired, and I was like, hang on. This might like be a way to get some heat off of Vogel, but the Kings look like they're putting Gentry up in the front office. So
the biggest loser. Yeah, but they're getting another coach, so he's technically
they're getting another coach. Yeah, he's technically fired, but they're moving him up.
I mean, by every sense of the word, I do agree. He technically is a loser. He's getting fired, but he's getting freed from that like LeBron umbrella.
And I agree.
Give him a team that will let him do his thing. Let him do his thing.
Yeah. He's not a bad coach. He just he was thrown into a shitty situation.
I mean, he left Indy. He went to Orlando, and like Orlando is just ever since Swites left, they haven't been the same. They're kind of in the shitter. But I like their young talent. They have really good young talent.
They have really good potential. Markelle Fultz, I've said this since he left Philly. I think we're going to regret letting him go. He's a phenomenal player.
Yeah, he's going to be really good. But moving back to Frank.
Yeah,
and then he went to LA. They won a championship year 1, and then they slowly got rid of all the players that were really important to that championship team. Also, Mickey Mouse couldn't help them out again and give another fucking pandemic to put them in a bubble. But
the mouse said, "Screw you."
Yeah, the mouse couldn't help out anymore. Which, by the way, if you're one of the people like me who said once Anthony Davis got traded for that trade wouldn't work out, your takes are starting to look a little bit better because he can't get on the floor and he can't stay on the floor. He is so fragile.
Yep.
He just gets hurt every year. And if it wasn't for the bubble, I would throw my life on the line that he would get hurt in the playoffs. Like he can't play more than like 20 plus games until he gets hurt again. And he hasn't looked the same since.
Lakers aren't getting that title without the bubble. It's kind of not undeniable at this point, but based on the way that every season has gone since the bubble, it is like that little break they had was perfect. I don't think LeBron would have played any different. I mean, LeBron is LeBron. LeBron.
He is the top 2 player, 1 or 2, however you want to put it. He is there. He is 1 or 2. He's 1A, 1B.
Yeah.
Anthony Davis,
I think that's the best way to put it.
If it wasn't for Mickey Mouse, I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, let's move on to our next winners and losers. My next winner is the friends of the program, 2-0 on the weekend. No big deal.
Let's go.
As we said on Friday with Chas Skelly, the friend of the program parlay, plus 132. If you cash that, love to hear it. We did. We cashed. We made some money off our boys this weekend. Feeling great about both AJ and Krys Barnes. So be on the lookout for those boys. But anyway, friends of the program, big winners this week. Shout them out. Both had great fights. I would say we thought Julio would have the fight of the night. Anthony probably had more of a fight of the night. Kind of got outperformed by something we'll talk about later. But our boys put on a good show. Shout out to our boys. Friends of the program parlay. Big winner this week. Harrison, your last winner.
My last winner is NBA basketball fans, because since college basketball fans, they just had their time to shine. Now the NBA playoffs are here, and our time is finally here. And I can't wait. I think the playoffs are going to have so much excitement and drama this season. I mean, we had a Sixers-Raptors first round, so we're going to want some revenge from that 2019 season.
What if Doc Rivers was another 2-0 lead?
I think the city will chase him out with pitchforks.
Because I'm going to be honest, I think that's going to happen because they're going to lose Maxey when they go to Canada.
No, it's Matisse. It's Matisse.
Oh, Matisse. Sorry.
I think we would be more screwed if we lost Maxey if we go up to Canada. But I am very worried that Doc is going to blow another 2-0 lead, and I am not going to stop being worried until the Sixers either win the whole thing or flame out of the playoffs like they always do. Most likely the latter, but
yeah, I'm not. If I'm a Sixers fan, I'm not feeling too hot with Nick Nurse as your opposing coach. Future Laker head coach.
Future Laker, yeah. The man who haunts my nightmares. Him and Kawhi.
Oh, the robot, the Terminator. All right, Harry, I have the biggest loser of the week. I want you to go first for your last loser, though.
So, yeah, before we go into the biggest loser, I think my biggest loser is Trolls Online for the same reason as your first loser. Like, have some sense of empathy for the family of the quarterback, the man who just lost his life. I mean, you don't need to go bringing up how he wasn't the best player in the NFL. Like he was a man, and a tragedy struck. Just be a good person and don't be a dickhead online.
So let's go on into our biggest loser, Adam Schefter. Dude, like, you need to get Rachel Nichols the fuck out of ESPN. You're it's when you type out like someone who's died at that young of an age, saying he was kind of a bust, maybe not the best idea.
And the rescind was just, you knew it was coming, and everybody was ratioing him after that. But
yeah, he's this isn't the problem, as it's not the first time he's had a controversial tweet like that. He's had a bunch of them where he's just worded them very poorly. I don't know what happened. He used to be really good at this, and all of a sudden in the past year he's gotten like really bad at like typing out tweets. Maybe we're paying more attention. I don't know what it is. It's kind of weird though. But like, Rachel Nichols him out of ESPN. Let's get Shefty. Give him das Boot. I know there's I mean, you have all the old whites saying, oh no, he'll be fine, he didn't do anything wrong, well, yada yada. It's not a one-time thing. He's done this every single time. So like, next time we have a big tragedy, he's probably gonna do the same shit. It's kind
just keep an eye on Shefty.
Pretty.
Maybe take his phone.
Yeah, I think we should take his phone for a couple days. Ground Schefter.
Yeah, all right. That's the only way he'll learn.
That's the only way he'll ever learn. All right, let's go on into UFC 273. I gotta type it in real quick. All right, so it was a fun card. I mean, I know a lot of people are here saying it was the best card of the year. It's got that recency bias bullshit. I wouldn't necessarily say it's the best card. London was fucking crazy. The Burns Chimaev fight, which we'll get to later on, like, yeah, it was a fight of the night. It wasn't fight of the year. Let's settle down on that talk. I think there's just a lot of that. It's just because of all the hype around Chimaev and kind of the way people thought he was going to walk through Burns. We'll get there later. Let's go down the list. Start with Volkanovski, Korean Zombie. That was like watching a dog getting put to sleep. That hurt to watch, just because you gotta love Zombie. He's getting up there in age, though. It was really sad to hear him talk about how he's not sure what he can do anymore in MMA. He's not gonna be able to fight for a title. Like, kind of accepting the fact that like Volkanovski's like that much better, which is such a sad thing to hear out of a fighter. Seeing him in the cage crying, all that kind of stuff. But he's a stand-up guy. I hug Volkanovski. But in the positive sides of things, though, Volkanovski's a fucking animal. You can make a case he is the pound for pound best fighter in the world. We've been on that train for a minute. We've been on that train for a while. Like, for everyone hopping on the train, get on that train. He might be the pound for pound number one best fighter. If he moves up to 155, I think he can win that championship. I think he can become a double champ. It's just a matter of matchup wise. I don't think it matters. I think he can take on any of those guys at 55. Actually, I don't know. If he fights Gaethje, I don't know. Gaethje hits like a fucking truck, and Volk can get hit. But Volk's boxing, head movement, footwork, all the other kind of stuff is getting so much better. I think I would make him a favorite against literally anyone currently between 45 and 55, except maybe Islam Makhachev. That's just because he's just going to grapple fuck him.
So Volk hasn't lost since like 2013, right?
He hasn't lost since he fought at welterweight.
Jesus.
Yeah, he fought at welterweight as he was like easing his way down in weight from when he was a fucking tank and played rugby.
That's nuts.
Yeah, he's nuts. He's so good. He's so good.
I didn't catch any of it, but when I was scrolling through Twitter, I saw everyone was like praising the ref.
Yeah, like, it was.
He stopped that at the right
Zombie
time.
just bomb after bomb after bomb. He got the third round was getting ugly, and he kind of made they literally before the fourth round started. Volkanovski, after they like did little touch gloves, he's like, "Are you sure you want to keep going?" Like, and then after the fight, Volkanovski was just like, "Yeah, dude, I had to take. I started to ease up a little bit. I felt bad because I was hitting him so hard, but no, like he's getting so good, and like." We'll talk about later. Chimaev talking about how he's only been in MMA for so long. So has Volkanovski. It's not like he's been fighting that much longer either. A lot of these guys who are top level, like you might think about, they've been lifelong fighters. A lot of them have been, they kind of turned MMA later, but they have like one specialization. So get the fuck out of here with that for any of these guys. A lot of these guys are not lifers. A lot of these guys are some guys who kind of started off later on in their career, but they have like these athletics. It's just crazy athletes. Like Volkanovski is a freak athlete. I'm really excited to see him move up to 155. I kind of hope to give him the Cejudo fight, but we have to wait 6 months because Cejudo is officially in the USADA pool. So we will see what happens with that. I would love to see that. Yes. I don't know how the timeline works out because after the Gaethje Oliveira fight, maybe you put the winner. If it's Oliveira, I mean, you do Volk versus Oliveira, Dariush, Makhachev. I don't know. There's a lot of different things you can do, but excited. I love watching Volkanovski fight. Can't wait to see him again. Let's move on to the co-main. Aljamain Sterling, the number one pound for pound fighter of Americans. He's the number one American fighter. He is the bantamweight champion. This is kind of a controversial decision, Harry. As you said, you weren't able to watch a whole lot of it, so you probably saw on Twitter a lot of people bitching, complaining, thought Peter Yan won. I went back. I was on the same boat, but I was happy. As we said pre-show, I did. My game plan this entire card was just to bet the underdog until one of them hit. One of them was going to hit at some point. So this might sound irresponsible. To me, it's responsible. I kept betting more and more as each dog lost. And I won on Sterling.
That's the most responsible thing you can do.
That's the most responsible thing you can do. Oh, I know. Yeah, but I just kept betting more and more until an underdog hit, and I was done. Because one of these, like, plus 300, we're going to win. There was too many on this card from not to. And honestly, only one of them looked to be like a minus 700. Volkanovski, just real quick, should be like minus 3,000. Like, that wasn't even close. But back to Sterling Yan. Yeah. I went back and rewatched the first round. Yan was pressuring him the entire time, but he wasn't throwing anything. Sterling threw a couple leg kicks, control the distance, even though Yan was pressuring. It was so fucking close, but you have to look at output, and Sterling won an output. And that's the only reason I think that really made sense. I honestly was really hoping for a draw because I thought that would have been so fucking funny that they have all this controversy over the headbutt just to go into like a majority draw like that. When they announced both of them got a round, I was like, oh my God, we might actually get like a majority draw. Like that would be so peak. That would be peak UFC like humor.
You go from a DQ to a draw, just
it would be perfect. And
perfection.
Chef's kiss. But we didn't get it. Yeah. We got Aljo winning, which is probably just as good because that means you can see Yan then come and fight him again. They'll fight. They will. It's just a matter of when. We got Cejudo. I mean, not Cejudo. We got Dillashaw, Sterling next. I'm excited for that. Just because, it'll be fun. Just because, I mean, I think Dillashaw's a kind of pretty tough matchup. He might be able to minimize the wrestling from Sterling, and it might be stand up. And I'm not a big fan of Aljo's stand up, but hey, he proved us all wrong against Yan. I'm happy he proved us all wrong against Yan. I love cheering for that kind of stuff. His apology tour. Oh, we didn't even do our fight of the night and performance bonuses. Fuck. Side note, we'll go ahead and do it now because it kind of lines up with the next two fights. So real quick, fight of the night, Aljo versus the Haters. Funny as shit, he took the Carmelo Anthony apology note and put that in for his for Aljamain Sterling, even that for every single one. So that shit was funny. Love it. I just love how he went after everyone's haters. He kind of had his like revenge tour. He's still getting hate on because it was a controversial decision, but I love it. I love his energy. Like you love those kinds of stories. So that's my quick fight of the night. Then performance bonus real quick. Habib stands just because literally everything is about them. Literally everything is about Habib. Just because Chimaev started to bleed and got knocked and dropped, they're like, oh, Habib never got dropped. He never bled. And they're like, oh, Habib, go. He defended his title 3 times, dude. Get the fuck out of here. But anyway, that just had to get that in there. Threw that in real quick. Yeah.
Slide it in there.
Yeah. And then I'll give my other extra performance bonus here later on. But yeah, just want to get that out there. Let's move on to Hamza in Gilbert Burns. As I said, Habib stands going crazy for this. We were kind of saying this too. Like his hype was up there. Like the guy is the truth. He is a hype train. But I was never like that he was going to walk through Gilbert Burns. I was never on that side. I actually thought Gilbert would win. And like, I thought there was a chance Gilbert won the third because of the way he finished the last minute or so. But I mean, it is what it is. He did beat number 2 welterweight in the world, and there's people out there saying the hype train's derailed. There's other people saying hype train's delivered. I think it was more or less he's human. As before, he was almost like a Terminator kind of guy. He's a lot more human after that fight. I mean, he got dropped. Like, let's say what it is. He got dropped. You know, a lot of these hype trains, like, they don't get dropped like that. So I don't know. I mean, he'll be champion at some point or another. He's only like 27. He's gonna be champion. But in terms of the hype train, I don't think he can beat Izzy. He's not gonna beat him. I don't think he can beat Rob Whittaker. But he'll be champion at welterweight at some point. I'm excited to see him against Colby. Just because I think Colby's gonna get fucking slapped. I think. Well, I like Colby. I like Colby's act because I think it's funny, and I know he's doing it as an act, and he knows it just pisses people off.
But it's even funnier seeing him get smacked.
It is very funny to see him get shit rocked. Like his wrestling's gonna get like Gilbert Burns gonna take Hamzat down. I'll be very curious to see if Colby can take Hamzat down, because if he can't take Hamzat down, Hamzat has better striking, and it could get ugly. A lot more power too. So that'll be very fun. Moving on though. I mean, again, as I said, he's hype trained, he's real, but who knows? Mackenzie Dern to see a Torres. It was a fun one. Dern continues to have like crazy jiu-jitsu. I don't know if you saw this. She literally like used the cage and was doing like a standing Kimura. Like his shit was it was crazy. It was one of the coolest like jiu-jitsu things I've ever seen.
Damn.
I mean, it was really cool. But anyway, that was a fun fight. Oh, also speaking of, maybe the favorite thing, one thing I've always wondered about when people are on the ground, I've never understood why people don't kick each other in the chest. Like when you're down. I don't know if you saw this when Gilbert Burns fucking stomped Hamzat in the fucking chest. Did you see that?
I missed that. No.
You look it up after. It was the coolest thing ever. Because like Hamzat was like laughing, so he was like trying to figure out what his next move was, and then Gilbert just fucking plants his foot in his chest off his back.
Amazing.
And the crazier thing too is it happened the fight before with Torres and Dern. Torres did that to Dern. So like I've never seen that, and been like I've always wondered like why don't people just do that more often? And we saw it in back-to-back fights. It was crazy. But anyway, those were both fun. Mark Madsen, Vince from Hell Pachel. I think kind of the funny thing was at the end of the second round, Vince was yelling, "He's broken! He's broken!" And then the next round, he gets taken down for the entire round.
Hey, karma's a bitch, and will always come back to get you.
Oh, it was
you always got that.
It was
you always got to keep that in the back of your head.
That's
so funny.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. But anyway, it was a grapple fucking.
Yeah,
Madsen. I mean, Pachel did get a takedown on Mark Madsen. He can always say that he took down an Olympic medalists. All right. Anyway, last couple notes from the prelims. Ian Gary. I mean, I wasn't.
You know the next Conor McGregor, right? You know
he's Conor McGregor.
Yeah,
he's Conor McGregor. If you didn't hear, his trash talk is literally just him saying he's Conor McGregor.
Over and over.
Did you know that he's Conor McGregor?
I actually didn't. That's a shock.
Did you know he's Irish?
He's Irish?
Didn't know that. You know he's Conor McGregor? Wow. Who would have thought? And obviously our friends of the program, big ones. The Mike Malott story was really cool. Did you see this, Harry?
No.
He's a guy who raised like all that money for his mom who had leukemia.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And like I think it's upwards of like 100,000 now. Like it's crazy.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. That's the right way to do a post-fight speech.
That really is.
And then my extra bonus.
That's the good stuff.
My extra bonus goes to Lennox Armpits. He choked out Jared Vendera. And then like minutes after, Vendera was like puking into the buckets. So his armpits must have smelled like fucking dick cheese. So shout out to Lennox for being fucking 70 years old choking people out. That's impressive, dude.
Yeah, good shit.
All right. So that's the show. Oh man, I got the scariest. I thought I just saw something bad for the Pacers and it wasn't. All right. Anyway, going to shout outs. I'm going to go ahead and give my first shout out. Speaking of the Pacers, is the Lakers trying to force another trade with the Pacers by saying the Pacers are dumb enough to take on Russell Westbrook. Get the fuck out of here. No, we don't want Taylor Horton Tucker in a second and Russell Westbrook. Please stop. It's not happening. And I will be very sad if it does. But shout out.
Yeah, that's
Lakers fans. They did this for Paul George. They did it for Paul George. It backfired on him. Fuck you. Get out. No, stop it. We're not taking Russ. Or at least I hope not. I don't know. I'm scared. I'm really scared that we're gonna do it.
Yeah, that would be terrifying. Just he's the team killer. No matter what.
We got Halliburton. Just like let Halliburton do his thing. If you bring in Russ, he's gonna fuck Halliburton's development. And then we're gonna be stuck. We're gonna be like, oh, I'm terrified. I am putrefied that Russell Westbrook's gonna be a Pacer.
I would be too. That is the scariest possibility.
3 years ago, I would have been so happy. No, I don't want it. Please, just for basketball gods, please bless, please. No.
It's insane how much goodwill a player lost over a course of literally 3 years.
Just send him anywhere but Indy. Send him back to OKC. I don't give a fuck. Anywhere but Indianapolis. Just anywhere but Indianapolis.
I think OKC would be happy to have him.
No, I think they're at the point now of the tank where they got to start winning.
Oh, yeah.
This is the last year. They can really get away with losing a lot.
Mm-hmm.
The process is about to be fulfilled.
Yeah, because they have a bunch of our picks coming up for next year.
They're going to trade for someone. Just a matter of who they're going to trade for.
Yeah.
I think next year is going to be the year they're going to really start to make moves. They got a lot of good young talent, and I feel like because I remember Lou Dort. I haven't heard of a thing about Lou Dort in months. No. What happened to Lou Dort?
It's been the Josh Giddey show out there.
Yeah,
that's what's been going on.
You got Giddey, you got Dort, you got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and then a bunch of nobodies. Oh, they got Puchu or Puku.
Yeah, they do. They do. What was Arca's offer for him again?
It was Puku for Sabonis.
Yeah. That was pretty ridiculous.
That one was crazy. All right, Harrison,
especially when you got Halliburton for him. Yeah, my shout out is Nick Castellanos, because on days when we get tragic news, he's just gonna hit a home run. He doesn't give a fuck. It happened again on Sunday. I mean, I shouldn't be shocked, but I still am.
You can run, you can hide, but when there's tragedy, Nick Castellanos is right there.
Yeah, he's just right in the background, like, oh, something bad happened.
It's like a trigger. It's like the NFL button. Whenever like the NFL wants to like become like the main important story, it's like Nick Castellanos has like a thing in his ear. Like, all right, tragedy happened. He's like, oh fuck, all right, time to hit a bomb.
Yeah. I wonder if he recognizes that too. Like after he hits the home run, I'm sure he notices it later, but like in the moment, I wonder if he thinks, oh shit, something bad happened today, and I just hit another home run. This is gonna get brought up later.
No, they're like 20. I can't wait for him to do it again. It's gonna be so. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. How like it happened once. It's happened multiple times. It is Nick Castellanos. What a guy.
It's literally that Doofenshmirtz audio on TikTok. Yeah. If I had 2 nickels for every time blank happened to me, if I had a nickel for every time this happened to me, I would have 2 nickels. But it's weird that it happened twice, right?
My next shout out goes to Bellator. They have 2 awesome fights on Friday with our boy AJ, and then Nemkov and Anderson. And I haven't heard a word, seen anything about it. It's been nothing. They've literally marketed it terribly. And people ask why anyone would want to join the UFC when they get paid more. It's some marketing, like in terms of like the people actually viewing the product. Like I'll watch it just because those are good fights. But if you're a casual, like there's been nothing to make a casual want to watch that fight. And if you're Bellator, you're fucking yourselves up because you have the talent to be a really good organization, and they just keep dropping the bag. It's sad.
If I wasn't on this podcast, I would have no clue about this Bellator stuff coming up.
No, you would have no idea.
None. So great going there, guys.
Yeah, good job. All right, that's the show. So that was a good one. That was fun. That was great. That was good time. Good time. Friday we got Ray Cooper on the show, the PFL champion, the PFL or maybe GOAT, Kayla Harris, the male GOAT. Kayla Harrison's the female GOAT. But anyway, we'll have him on Friday, and then we got some awesome interviews coming up the following week, and a lot of fun stuff coming. So,
yes, sir.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around with me all the way to the end. I just want to once again thank the sponsor of the show, Living.Fit. If you're looking to better yourself, make sure you go to download the app or visit the website Living.Fit today.